Hello, welcome back on my channel. Thank you so much for joining me again. Today we are in Switzerland. On this channel, we're trying to combine traveling with books and book recommendations. And when I asked a lot of you what you would be interested in seeing from different places that I travel to, you mentioned you would love some book recommendations from the places, either from people like authors who are from that area or books that are set in that area, which is a really good idea, but I haven't read a lot of books set in a lot of the places that I'm visiting to yet. So this recommendation video is kind of a TBR one. All the books in this recommendation video are sorted by the genres that I have in my TBR game, and I have contracted a new card saying pick from the travel recommendation videos. So if I pull that a genre and I pull that card, I get to pick one of these books from these videos. So let's try and make as many videos as soon as possible so that I have some choices. So let's find some good books set in Switzerland. Let's go. So for fantasy, I have chosen something that I'm super excited about. The book is called The Reunion of the Untouchables, and it's the first in a series of The Study Train by Frenier. I have no idea how to pronounce it, sorry. So about 500 years ago, master magician Mikhail Pilkington III created a magical flying train, the study train. His vision was to take average teenagers on board, show them the world, and turn them into leaders. I kind of love that idea. So Ethan is invited onto this train, escaping his miserable life in Switzerland. Well, can life really be miserable in all of this? I don't know. It just doesn't feel like life here would be miserable, but hey, not judging. I don't know what you've been going through, so let's follow Ethan. He soon discovers that the train is all but ordinary. Well, what do we expect of like a fantasy book, right? It is filled with magic, secrets, people with interesting history, and much more. Ethan's intrigue and hunger for knowledge and power catches the attention of a hidden, ancient alliance called the Untouchables. Soon Ethan learns all their mysteries, powers, and sorcery. He stands out from the rest of the students and is recognized as the long-awaited leader for the Untouchables. But his dark side, the dark fire inside, grows and becomes much stronger than anyone thought it would. Ethan gets sucked into a web of conflicts and feuds while battling his own inner feelings. Will he go for power or turn toward good? Let's find out. For contemporary, I have chosen I'm Not Stiller by Max Frisch. Arrested and imprisoned in a small Swiss town, a prisoner begins this book with an exclamation, "I'm not Stiller!" He claims his name is Jim White, that he has been jailed under false charges and under the wrong identity. So to prove he is who he claims to be, he confesses to 3 unsolved murders and recalls in great detail an adventuresome life in America. And he recalls in great detail an adventuresome life in American Mexico among cowboys and peasants in back alleys and docks. He's consumed by the morbid impulse of convince, but no one believes him. So this is a harrowing account, part Kafka, part Camus, of the power of self-deception and the freedom that ultimately lies within self-acceptance. Simultaneously haunting and humorous, I'm Not Stiller has come to be recognized as one of the major post-war works of fiction and a masterpiece of German literature. Ooh. We're Flying by Peter Stamm. This is a collection by the award-winning Swiss author and playwright Stamm. It's supposedly to be hypnotic and haunting. He peels back the layers of culture and conditioning and touching on subjects close to Swiss hearts, but exposing the universal, whatever that is supposed to mean. So it is a short story collection, so that's why it's out of my comfort zone. But all of these short stories possess the traits that have built Stamm's reputation. And I'm just going to read this directly. The directness of the prose, the deceptive surface simplicity of the narratives, and deep psychological insight into the existential dilemmas of contemporary life. Now, come on, if that doesn't sound good, I don't know what does. Stamm does not waste a word, nor does he spare the reader's feelings, and that's what we are here for, right? These stories are a superb introduction to his work and a gift for all those who have come to regard his fiction as a precise rendering of the contemporary human psyche. I think that sounds amazing, so I wouldn't mind if that got picked for me. So for historical fiction, I have chosen A Journey to America by Sonia Levitin. Levitin, not 100% sure, sorry. So this plays 1936, so we are in wartime. Terrible things are happening in Germany. Suddenly there are more and more restrictions for Jews, yellow stars they had to wear, schools they couldn't attend, and things they were forbidden to do. So the Nazis were in power, and Lisa Platt, our protagonist, was scared. Her father knew they had to escape, and he left for America in the middle of the night alone. He promised to send for Lisa, her mother, and her two sisters when there's enough money. Until then, they were to live in Switzerland. And so they did, waiting in hardship none of them could have ever imagined. So I don't know much about what happened during the Second World War in Switzerland, because most of the literature I have been reading focused on either Germany or Poland or completely different areas, even like the UK, but I have never read something that focused on Switzerland. We didn't learn much about it in school, so I'm quite intrigued to hear what this is going to share. I wish it was a beautiful day so I could show you the beautiful views up here at Lake Geneva, but alas, we're gonna deal with the rain. So for science fiction, I have picked Frankenstein Unbound by Brian W. Aldiss. This is a kind of a newer retelling, and with a little bit of a spin on it. Joe Bodenland, a 21st century American, passes through a time slip and finds himself with Byron and Shelley in the famous villa on the shore of Lake Geneva. So this is pretty much where we're at right now, and it's beautiful, even though and more fantastically, he finds himself face to face with a real Frankenstein, a doppelganger inhabiting a complex world where fact and fiction may as easily have congress as Baudelaire himself manages to make love to Mary Shelley. What? This title was made into a film, so I definitely want to read this and then watch the movie. This is it for today. I hope you enjoyed these recommendations. I'm quite looking forward to reading all of them because I feel like all of them sound so super interesting. So let me know if you've read any of these, if you have other recommendations about books that play in Switzerland or by Swiss authors that you loved, and share it all with me. I hope to see you again real soon. Oh, wait, where should I go next? Bye!